Lee Taylor has been looking into UFOs and abductions and aliens and conspiracy theories for over 30 years. And he's on the line with us here just now. How are you today?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
What was it that got you interested in all this stuff?
I think when I was young, I just wanted questions to answers that I don't think I was getting.
Hmm.
So I was like trying to work things out because I was a quiet lad
Right.
and I was more observing things around around life before accepting it and getting into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, these kind of questions were coming up and there was no answers. And then as time was going on, I found more and more questions, more and more connections as well. And it just seemed to be that it's a funny old world. It's not so straightforward as we presume it is.
So, do you believe in aliens? And if so, do you believe in the kind of abductions and things like aliens have maybe came to Earth?
Yeah, I think recently I don't know, I'd say the last 5 years on the kind of religious side, I've always been, everyone's got their own path to
Yeah.
make, but I found it more likely that we were made than creationists had said.
Hmm.
And then you go into I started looking into the Anunnaki and the Sumerians and their stories of how things had come to be. And it's the same with tribes as well around the world and places that like have never left the area. And like there's a lot of symbols and a lot of stories that seem to impact and actually say, well, actually, this is the way it was. I think there's been a lot of history hidden. And I think governments deliberately now hide a proportion of it
Why do they hide it?
because they don't want us to know the truth that the way that it's been portrayed through religion and how we were meant to be is there's still in them areas there's still a lot of questions to a lot of answers and they can't answer it. So if they can't answer it, then that road must be wrong or you're hiding something.
Have you ever personally
Mm-hmm.
seen an alien base or UFOs or something like that?
I've seen two
Ooh.
UFOs. One I had a witness, one I didn't. While I was camping, the in around about 1997, me and my brother we were in London walking down the road, and we just this was like before mobile phones had cameras and stuff like that, and we walked down the road and we looked to our left, and it still amazes me today that there was something like it was like literally like Jupiter was
Yeah.
right there in all its aspects. It was absolutely enormous, and I'm surprised no one else seen it. So we were like, right, let's go in and get a camera because we were only like two doors down. So it's like, let's get in, get a camera, come out, take a picture of it. And we've got proof there. But what we should have done is one of us has gone in there while the other one stayed there and watched to see that like it didn't go anywhere. But when we got back out, it disappeared. And it was like, ooh, well, it really still amazes me to this day. And the second one, a couple of years ago, me and my co-host, which I do a podcast called Never a Straight Answer. We've been doing it for like about 4.5 years.
Wow.
And we talk about all this kind of stuff and also ghosts and stuff like that. Well, we went out camping with a couple of mates, and at night, I'm kind of a night owl. I stayed up, and while they were all tucked up in their tents, I was looking up in the sky and then I seen an object, but it moved so fast. It moved half a triangle and then disappeared. And then to the left hand side, it come back and then did exactly the same thing and then went straight back to the place that it was originally. So I'm in the tents going like, get up, can you see this? Can you video this? but they were too tired. Oh yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Yeah, if you're right. And I'm like, you know what, you're gonna kick yourself. But it's so easy at the minute now to see these objects, especially if you've got night vision.
Yeah.
Night vision is such a really good tool at the moment, because the object could be right there. But then you put that on and it is there.
Why do you think it is that it only seems to be people who are interested in aliens and stuff that see all this stuff? Is it just as simple as, well, the people that aren't interested weren't really looking for it, or they didn't think in that way?
Well, yeah, no one really looks up in the sky at times, do they really? You're looking forward, looking down. You very rarely look up. But I'd say that's kind of fallacy, because a lot more people who don't believe in it see something, and then it comes to the question of, because there's a lot more people now. I think it works out 2/3 of Americans now believe in it, which about 20 years ago it would have been less than 100,000, something like that. But because there's more on it, and there's more of us turning around and going, look, there's something there. You're disregarding it when you shouldn't be disregarding it. It's a part of your safety. I mean, the government are turning around, and a part of their duty, one of their main duties, is the safety of their people. But they're not doing anything about it, because there's obviously they're already involved.
Well, where are we able to keep up to date with you, and of course find the podcast that you do, Never a Straight Answer?
It's everywhere. Yeah, I'm at neverastraightanswer.co.uk. We've got a website, we've got blogs on there, we've got over 200 episodes. We're coming up to 200 as well. We've also got merch and donating to us. But we're everywhere. We're on YouTube, literally everywhere. Every podcast you can think of, we are there. If we're not on it, we do get on it. We find it and we get on it.
Yeah. Well, many thanks for joining us today. It's been very interesting to talk to you.
Thank you very much for having me.